Good morning. Welcome to Salt Lake City. My name is Stacie, Lindsey, and I'm the CEO of the Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation. We are so excited to start the scientific part of our program, and no introduction needed, but this is Dr. Chiara Braconi and Dr. Laura Goff, who are the chairs of this year's conference. We're so excited to have them. Okay. My heart is pounding out of my chest. My heart is so full. And I just want to thank you for being here, and especially for the patients who are here. I just want you to know that the next 2 days are going to be amazing. Some of the premier scientists and clinicians are here and are going to be working to help you. We had an amazing day yesterday. Thank you for being here, and thank you for those who are participating virtually. We are thinking about you, and we wish that you were here with us. Yesterday, we heard from Dr. Chiara Braconi, who helped us understand some very complex scientific concepts and have better insights into what scientists are looking at when they study cholangiocarcinoma. Dr. Goff shared some of the exciting things that clinicians are looking forward to and some of the things that they're thinking about. We had a great session on nutrition and integrative medicine, really informative, and we heard from an amazing patient, Stephanie, and a caregiver, Anita Benson, that made me think that I want to move in with her. We heard about 3 great research opportunities that patients can participate in: the GWAS, the CCF Patient Registry, and AMP, and the PECGS. There will be more information during the next 2 days. If you haven't had an opportunity to participate, we welcome you, and these are some of the ways that we can work together as a community to improve outcomes for patients. We also had the opportunity to hear from members of the Nursing Advisory Board. We're so grateful that they were here. Then last night, we had the opportunity to hear from a transplant patient, Sean Patrick, who gave an amazing concert. Thank you so much, Sean, for being here with us. I just want to give just a couple of housekeeping items before I start. You can visit the patient lounge in 150A, B, and C for the patients. Also, the GWAS, your participation will help scientists to make progress and find new ways to prevent, detect, diagnose, and treat cholangiocarcinoma. This is for patients and non-patients. Even the medical professionals who are here can participate in this, and that is in room 150D. The heredogene population study is also at the same time as the GWAS. It's a multi-year research study to make new connections between genes and human disease and develop new treatments and increase our ability to predict and prevent serious disease now and in the future. So just welcome you to participate in that, and I'll give you a little information in my slides about how that went yesterday. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing to help us work some of these problems. The CCF store is just to the back and to the right, and if you are interested in any awareness items, please feel free. We're excited about all of the opportunities we have to create more awareness out in our communities. One of the extraordinary things that is happening this year is the service project that we are putting together with the generosity of our sponsors, 2,500 care kits for newly diagnosed patients. We need everyone's help here. It's a very simple process. Everything is in the meal room just to the right-hand side. You'll see those. You just go down the line, you fill up the box. We put a little card inside the box, just a little ray of hope for these patients when they're newly diagnosed. Those cards are in the middle of your table, and if you want to fill one out, we'll gather them up and we put them into the care kits, and just a simple message of hope, and sign your name, and it's just a great opportunity for us to work together as a community to offer some hope to these newly diagnosed patients. There are some bingo cards, and it's a blackout bingo, but you get stamps when you go and see the exhibitors. The exhibitor hall has been absolutely packed and full, and we're so grateful to our sponsors who are here and who want to have conversations and give you information so that we can work together, again, for better patient outcomes. And I just want you to know there will be short time for questions after some of the presentations, so just want you to keep your questions brief, and especially for the patients, the doctors and the scientists cannot answer specific questions to your care, so make them broad so they apply to all the patients, and we're going to get started. Want to thank our sponsors first. We could not do this conference without them. We're so grateful that they're here, that they're developing treatment options for the patients in collaboration with the investigators. So at the Redwood level, AstraZeneca; at the Birch level, Insight; at Aspen level, Boehringer Ingelheim, Jazz, Relay, Servier, Taiho, and Tyra. And you can see all of the information is in your programs, and also you can visit them in the exhibitor hall. So thank you so much. We're so, so grateful, and a round of applause is great. Thank you. Okay, I want to just do a few acknowledgements. Our board of directors, could we bring the lights up just for a minute? This is our board of directors, and this is the governing body that has helped CCF come to where we are today, and I'd just like to have them stand. If we could bring the house lights up for just a minute. Can you stand, please, the board members? Thank you. Thank you. Patty Maxon, Teresa, thank you. I also want to acknowledge our staff. We start planning for this meeting exactly 2 weeks after we're done here today. We plan all year, and I'm so grateful for them. They are here to help you, and I'd like to have all the CCF staff stand, please. They have green clipboards so that you can easily find them. Thank you. We cannot do these conferences without volunteers, and we have a lot of volunteers, and I'll share just a little bit of information with you a little later. If we could have all the volunteers stand. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I just want to share, this is our 10th annual conference, and I know for many of you who have been here, every one of those 10 conferences, and many of the investigators here have been, this is kind of shocking, where we are now and where we were. I want to thank Dr. Abu Alfa, who's not here with us this year, but helped us early on to conceive of a conference where we could bring all the investigators together and really talk about some of these problems. Dr. Abu Alfa was the one who chose Salt Lake City. He wanted this to be a destination meeting, kind of like Austin is for breast cancer. He wanted Salt Lake City to be a destination meeting for cholangiocarcinoma, and 10 years later, here we are. You can see in the first, in some of these pictures, this is a tiny little group. There were 59 of us, very small, having kind of a workshop. And then you can see the chairs over the years. How do you thank people who have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in service to CCF, but ultimately for the patients? And those are all of the investigators and the scientists. So again, could I have the house lights up, please? Sorry. Impromptu ask. I just want all of the scientists and the investigators to please stand, because I want the patients to see you. So please stand. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And there are many more coming. These are some of the premier scientists and investigators globally, and they are here on your behalf to try and get to solutions. We're so happy to be able to bring them together. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of background, and we'll move through that, and then we have some awards and some things that are exciting that we want to talk about. So this is sort of the curve of the annual conference. We started with 59, and this year we have representation from over 46 of the United States. Every state is represented except just 4. Alaska, Mississippi, North Dakota, and South Dakota. So we need them next year so that we can be whole. We have 33 countries represented, including Australia, New Zealand, Greece, Brazil, the UAE. We have patients here from Jordan. We have patients here from all over the world looking to connect and to hear what these scientists and investigators are working on. This is such a hopeful place, and we're so happy to greet you and bring you into this fold. About 500 people are in person here today, and these 3 days, and about a little more than 500 are with us virtually. So we're thinking about you, those of you who are here with us virtually. We wish that you were here, but we're so glad that in this day and age that you can participate in this conference virtually. So at our 10th annual conference, I just wanted to give you an update because we have a lot of research going on, a lot of service projects. Over 100 people participated in the GWAS yesterday, had their blood taken. Thank you so much. Thank you. We assembled yesterday over 1,000 care kits. We have about 1,500 more. So as you have a meal, if you even have 1 or 2 minutes, that's all it takes to assemble those care kits, and volunteers are there to help you. This has been a really successful program, and I'll share with you a little bit more about that. So, I want to thank our Scientific and Medical Advisory Board. How do you thank people who, out of the goodness of their hearts, provide service so that an advocacy organization can assist in their work? This is our Scientific and Medical Advisory Board leadership from 2020 to 2023. And I just want to thank them so much for their service. I also want to thank our Nursing Advisory Board for their service. And I want to thank the International Cholangiocarcinoma Research Network. This is the leadership that has guided the work of CCF for the last 10 years. And just want to say thank you so much. Dr. Borad is going to be presenting later a little more about ICRN initiatives and all those things that are happening. But again, it's hard to tell you how deeply grateful I feel for the guidance that we have received. So I want to ask Dr. Nabil Bardisi and Dr. Katie Kelly to come up. Thank you. Can I get the... Thank you. Nabil, is Nabil here? Okay, well, Nabil. So, Katie Kelly and Dr. Nabil Bardisi have been leading the Scientific and Medical Advisory Board for the last 3 years. It's a 3-year term, and have been amazing and have been so helpful and instructive to this organization. And their terms end, and so I wanted to give them a small gift of thanks, and it's coming. Hopefully Nabil's somewhere as well. But I like to give meaningful gifts. I I don't love something that's sitting on your desk and that has no meaning. Katie and Nabil are both avid runners. As a matter of fact, before our industry council meeting, Katie came in. She'd just been out for a run in Salt Lake City. So they're arriving, but this is, I guess Brooks is a good brand of running shoe. I'm not a runner. But we got a pair of running shoes, both for Katie and for Nabil. They're matching. Ooh. And they're green, and this is a this is a limited edition. So because thank you. So Katie, thank you for running the scientific and medical advice. Okay, we'll catch Nabil later, but everybody's going to rouse him when we see him, okay? Okay, so I want to announce our new Scientific and Medical Advisory Board leadership, which is Dr. Nilo Azad and Dr. Ben Stanger. We're so grateful to have these leaders in the field who are going to help us get our new and transitioning advisory boards up and running and with some really exciting initiatives. So thank you. Again, sorry, yes, thank you. Again, thank you is just, it's not enough. It's not enough for the hundreds and hundreds of hours of time that advisory board members have spent helping CCF best serve you, the patients, meetings, phone calls, texts, guidance, oversight, introductions. The list is endless, so I just deeply thank you for all of your service. I want to take you back to the beginning of advocacy for CCF. This is my brother, Mark. You've probably seen him on the website or heard me talk about him. He was 38 when he was diagnosed. He was stage 4, and we were panicked. We were scared. We didn't know what to do. Felt like we had nowhere to turn. There was no information for us. And we just dug in together to try and find solutions. These are my two sisters, Kelly and Amy. They're sitting right here. And out of that need was born CCF. And if you don't know that's the story, please look at the website. But simply put, I was driving home with Mark from his last chemo appointment, not his last chemo, but his last treatment. And he was out of options. So we knew what was coming. And he just simply turned to me and said, "Stacie, what are you going to do with all the resources that you'd gathered?" Rick, my brother-in-law, who's also sitting right here, had set up a discussion board so we could connect with other patients and hopefully scientists and get some hope and find out what everybody else was doing. Was there anything out there? And Mark said, "What are you going to do with all the people you've met, all the contacts, all the information?" I said, I don't know. And he said, I think other people will not have families like ours, and they'll need our help. We need to set up a foundation. Okay. We went and did that, and that changed the course of my life, and my family's lives. But I feel so blessed to be here. And I want to so many patients are so grateful for the work that the CCF does. But your gratitude goes to Mark because his vision was longer than mine. I wanted to help him. He wanted to bless you. So, thinking of him today. Thank you. So I want to talk a little bit about once we became a organized foundation. And many of you will remember Marion Schwartz. Marion was the first official patient advocate for the foundation. She also had the honor of being the first patient advocate appointed to the NCI Hepatobiliary Task Force. She trained Melinda, and she was a fierce advocate for the patients in everything that she did. We started as a discussion board, and just have to formally thank Marion, Gavin Strachan, Mary Ott, Lainey Sardina, who for years and years moderated those discussion boards. About 5,500 unique users and about 84,000 threads on those discussion boards. There's a lot of deep knowledge there. This year, we archived the discussion boards. That information will remain available to patients, but as technology has changed, it's just easier for patients to connect on social media, and so we wanted to recognize that, but also keep that resource available. Okay. Here are some more early advocacy pictures of CCF in these tiny little meetings. And I want to just show you some of the things that are happening now with the growth and more than 10 years of advocacy, but Melinda is serving in every task force, on every steering committee, and every possible place that we can be to advocate for patients, we are serving. Every way that we can collaborate with other organizations or institutions, we are working in that space. We are also advocating across the globe. It is so important to us, and one of our core values is collaborating. There are several. The AMMF was the very first cholangiocarcinoma organization that I know of. They came before us and have done amazing work. They have been great partners to us. We're so grateful for them. And many others who are in this space, the Thai group, Japanese group, and there are many smaller groups that we're working with. We want them to be able to stand on our shoulders because we do believe that the patients are best served by groups that are advocating within the country and can help them navigate the healthcare system where they live. So Russia, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Italy, all of these groups are up and coming, and we're working to help them as best we can. Here's some more pictures of Melinda and all of us at different meetings and opportunities where we have to advocate. I want to talk a little bit about our engagement with industry. When we began this, there was no industry in this space, and our very first partner was Agios and Servier, and you'll see Dr. Susan Pandia there in the picture. Susan's aunt passed away from cholangiocarcinoma, so cholangiocarcinoma was personal to her. First one to come to our conference, first one to engage with us, and we worked as an advocacy group to help them with their protocol. And you remember they had a crossover protocol, and we went to the FDA with them, and we worked with them on that. It was important to us that we get the right trial. That trial accrued quickly, and then they received an FDA approval. And in the next month is a white paper that's coming out about our experience with now Servier about that crossover experience and that approval. And we're so excited to work with our different industry partners on these things that really affect patients and make these trials accessible to them. So this is a timeline, and this is our timeline within Insight. These are just major advocacy events, and I realize you can't read all of those things, but this goes from 2017 at the top down to 2023. So this goes well before they got their FDA approval, straight through and has gone well beyond. These are patient advisory boards, clinical advisory boards, patient education resources that we've helped them develop, patient educational webinars, surveys, all kinds of things that we're doing to help the patients be educated about the treatment options that are available to them through clinical trials. I also want to acknowledge our industry council members. We're so thankful. This is a very collaborative group. We had a great meeting this morning with the investigators and the companies. Everyone in this space has to be collaborating. We have to. The investigators are collaborating, the advocacy groups are collaborating, industry. We need industry to collaborate, and this is a very collaborative group. I think this is a unique space, and we're so proud of everything that's happening, but we can only do this if we all work together, and I'm excited for the future. So this is just a little, representation of what's happened in the last 2.5 years. We've had 5 FDA approvals, pretty exciting in a space that had nothing. And thank you to our industry partners who have come into this space, worked with the investigators, and really are making some good options for the patients. Okay. This is a slide that I stole from Marina Beretti, and then we just made it fancy, so thanks, Rick. And it just shows, you can see on the far left, it's the ABC02 trial. Dr. Juan Ballet is here, he and Dr. Bridgewater, and colleagues. This was our first standard of care back in 2009, 2010. And you see the red is what you should be looking at, right? The red. And so you see 2017, great, we have our first approval. 2018, look at 2020, 2021, 2022. Isn't that amazing to see these solid tumor approvals and approvals specific to cholangiocarcinoma? And I just want you to know that the pipeline is full. There are a lot of great things coming down, and these are all going to be new treatment options for patients that we're so excited about. So today I want to announce an exciting new trial for patients. It's not named yet. We're getting there. But our partners, GCAR, are a nonprofit CRO who've been working with us for a couple of years. This has been such a great collaboration. And they are going to be here. They are speaking on Friday, and they're going to be in the general session general session on Friday from 3 to 3:15 p.m. And then there's a special meeting for investigators or industry partners that are interested in coming in and working with us on this trial. And then they have a room here, 250F, if you want to speak with the team privately and talk about the different options. We're really excited about this and think this is going to be so helpful in the clinical trial space. I want to acknowledge our data partners. We're so grateful for our relationships with Invitae Citizen, which powers the CCF patient registry. This is one of the ways that patients can really help us move the work forward. And also our data partner, Komodo Health. They are both here and will be speaking in the next 2 days. So please connect with them if you can see ways that you can collaborate with them. There's so much data, and I'm excited that CCF is going to have this year the capacity to publish a lot of that data so that we can know what we're looking at and be working toward the same goals. I want to just share with you a little bit about patient advocacy and support. The Newly Diagnosed program was started in August of 2021. It's a portal on the website, and that's where the care kits get distributed. So we've distributed over 1,600 care kits to newly diagnosed patients since August of 2021. Our Komodo Health data tells us that we're seeing about 244, that's the average, newly diagnosed patients being in the claims data. That's what we see, about 244 a week being diagnosed. We're capturing about 25 to 30, somewhere in there, are coming in through that newly diagnosed portal. That's a pretty big gap. We're always working to improve that, get those numbers tighter. Melinda would love nothing more than to see every cholangiocarcinoma patient get connected with CCF so that we can give them the resources that they need and get them connected. So we do a survey. This won't be new information, but this is the way that the patients are connecting with us through Google, Facebook, friends. Physicians are fourth. I would really like to see that bar much longer, to have the clinicians connecting them to CCF so that we can help them. In that newly diagnosed survey, 68% of those patients are asking to have personal contact with CCF. They want to talk to Melinda, they want to talk to the advocacy team, they need to get connected. So please keep that in mind. If you are a clinician or you're seeing these patients, they really want to connect with other patients, and we can help them do that. And they need help, and we want to do that. 49% of those patients had biomarker testing. That number goes up every time we're looking at the data, so we're really excited about that. Why wasn't biomarker testing done? That red line's tricky. Their doctors did not recommend it. We have more education to do, and we're assuming that this is coming from the community oncologists, that they are not recommending it early on, and we can see that in the Komodo data as well. So again, you can see that 81% of those patients are white non-Hispanic. We really need your help to think about innovative ways that we can reach out to all the patients who need our help. Again, just another medical team. Of those patients who came to the portal, their medical team provided information about clinical trials, only 21%. We have to do better there as well. So 83% of the patients who came in through that portal have severe to moderate anxiety. I know that the clinicians here know that. I know that the patients know that, and the caregivers. But there are some ways that we're helping with that. So again, please connect them to the foundation so that we can help them address some of these difficult things that they're going through. The first is Cholangiocarcinoma, started in 2017. We have made 921 mentor to mentee, both caregiver and patient connections since it began. Uniquely, in January of 2023, we saw a 77% increase in mentor requests. If you have long-term surviving patients or caregivers who would be interested in engaging in this work with us, please get them connected to us, because there are newly diagnosed patients and caregivers who could just use a listening ear. Educational webinars and virtual support groups, these really help the patients. We've had 53 educational webinars. They have an average view of about 350. And then we have virtual support groups. We have a patient support group, a caregiver support group, a Canadian support group, a Spanish support group, military veteran support group, and a bereaved support group. Average attendance, these are virtual, is about 25, but I've been on 2 that have been over 50. So patients really want to get connected, and we can help them do that. Again, we had a great session yesterday. This is a free resource for the patients. This was in partnership with the Oncology Dietitian Practice Group. This is a really great resource for the patients, and this is the top 3 asks that the patients have of us. They really want to know about clinical trial options, and they really want to understand nutrition better, and if there's something that they could be doing. The Q&A book, about 7,000 copies of that have been distributed free. We're so grateful for the sponsors who help us do that. This is a great resource for patients. A lot of educational videos. Many of them are offered in English, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, Mandarin, and Thai. And we have unbranded versions of all of these so that they can be freely used within your institutions. And we have 2 new educational videos. First one is on immunotherapy. We debuted that yesterday with the patients, just explaining how immunotherapy works. And the second one, and this one was a beast, was helping the patients and the community oncologists understand the biomarker testing results. Really, we're so excited to get this out. This will come out in the next month, but this will help so many. Melinda and her team spend an enormous amount of time helping people go through their biomarker testing results and trying to help give them some direction. 16 years of volunteering, we could not run this foundation without all these amazing volunteers. We have over 100 active volunteers. They have given in 2022 over 6,000 hours of their time. And just one example is that on World Cholangiocarcinoma Day, which was February 16th, 2023 this year, the social media reach was more than 500,000. So thank you to all of our volunteers again. The other thing that's happened in the last 10 years has been the remarkable financial growth of the foundation. In 2013, we raised about $200,000 toward research, and this year will be a little more than $5 million. We are so grateful to the donors and to the sponsors who have helped us to do this. This comes from our industry partnerships who support this conference, Industry Council. They support fundraising events and a lot of support for our patient services, educational resources. Thank you so much. The community fundraisers, more than 30 events hosted, and that goes up every year. We're grateful to the Quack Out Cholangio 5K, which is like our biggest event of the year, biggest fundraiser, and nearly 1.2 million raised from Facebook on Facebook fundraisers. Team CCF and 10 countries raising over $600,000, 5 marathons, and then to Jason Scott, the Scott family, he is a board member. They raised over $1 million with help from the board of directors. 75 monthly donors and more than 880 donors supporting cholangiocarcinoma awareness. Sorry. Okay. So where does that money go? That money goes to research funding. And over the last 10 years, these are some of the institutions that we have funded research. Also, our research fellowships. This is a program we're so proud of, and many of former research fellows are here in the audience today. And I just wanted to note two of our earliest research fellowships, Dr. Lipka Goyle and Dr. Flavio Roca. And just so proud to see these young investigators who were anxious to engage with us early on and who have gone now to be leaders in their institutions. And there are so many other great stories. Thank you for your support in supporting these young researchers. I wanted to just share you some things happening in cholangiocarcinoma in the research. And I wanted to share with you some of the great things that we're just seeing happen. Dr. Rebecca Iyer is here. She is a Canadian surgical oncologist. Her husband was diagnosed with cholangiocarcinoma. She just received a $7.4 million grant to study cholangiocarcinoma. She's excited. We're excited. There are a lot of collaborative opportunities. So please contact her. She is here. Rebecca, are you here? There she is, right there. Also, Indiana University just received an $8 million gift from the Wirtz family in honor of his late wife, Melissa. So exciting, specifically to set up cholangiocarcinoma research facility. So all of these big things are happening. It's so exciting, and we're so happy to see this. Sergio Grattaloni is here, just got an R01 grant, $1.9 million. The Mayo Clinic got another R01 to help continue the GWAS. All these big grants are happening. We have DoD grants. We're looking at PO1s. We have 2 major spores, one at Mayo, one at MGH. Things are getting exciting, and that means things are more possibilities for patients. So excited. One thing I wanted to tell you that's also exciting is that Melissa and Barry Peoples gave a matching gift of $10,000 for the Giving Tree in honor of Debbie Rose, their mother. And yesterday, Bill Sessions said he would match that with another $10,000 matching gift in honor of his wife, Cheryl. So if you have an opportunity, you can just use your phone and click right there, or you can do it outside of the tree. We're so grateful for the donors who are helping us get research done. Our strategic plan, this has been a long time in the coming, and we're really happy with the work that's happened, and so grateful to so many who helped us put our strategic plan together. It's based on our core values: patients first, collaboration, innovation, and underlying all of that, a sense of urgency. This was a community effort. We did a lot of focus groups with the patients and caregivers, with the donors, with the sponsors, with the scientists, with the clinicians, trying to make sure we were charting the right path. And we have 2 pillars. One is patients and caregivers, and the other is research and breakthroughs. You can take a look at the strategic plan online. The entire thing is there, and give us your feedback. We're really excited to have some plan. And there you go. You can access it right there. You can click on that, or you can go to the website and see the entire strategic plan. Okay. So I'd like to invite my family to come up to the stage. This is just a small portion of my family. We have a big family. This is my sister Kelly, my sister Amy. This is my cute husband Brian. This is my oldest son Bridger, and this is Rick, Amy's husband. He's also helped us set up the foundation. So, okay. The Mark R. Clements Awards are the highest annual honor and most prestigious award presented by the foundation. They were initiated in 2019 and are named in honor of the co-founder and inspiration for the foundation, Mark R. Clements. Just a second. And can you play the first video?
The Mark R. Clements Awards are the highest honor given by the Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation. Each year, our staff nominate and vote among the many extraordinary volunteers who engage with CCF. Those nominations then go to the Clements family, who make the final decision. These awards were made by Matt Reedy, a long-term survivor of cholangiocarcinoma. Thank you, Matt, for creating such a beautiful reminder for our honorees, reflecting the impact they have made on this community. I am happy to announce that the 2023 recipient of the Mark R. Clements Award for Excellence in Volunteerism is Alyssa Allie Plouffe. Allie has spent countless hours volunteering in honor of her mother, Kathleen. Allie has worked with the foundation as a research advocate, an active member of the care team, a Cholangio Connect mentor, a social media volunteer, and an annual conference volunteer. She did her PhD capstone project in occupational therapy on caregiving for cholangiocarcinoma and shared the results of her work with our community. Allie is always eager to help with any project. She led the Wellness for Life virtual program during COVID and is an active participant with our online community, connecting with patients and caregivers. For all she has done and continues to do, it is my honor and pleasure to present Allie with this award.
Allie is so deserving of this award. You know, she's one of the first five, the front five of Cholangio Connect mentors that started in 2017. She has reached out to scores of individuals with an open heart and open mind, taking the ball and just running with it.
Allie has had an incredible impact on the medical community, on patients and caregivers and everyone involved with CCF because of her contributions and her volunteer work. I have no doubt that her mom is absolutely watching over her and is so proud of her, just as the rest of her family is and all of us.
In addition to Allie's work as a mentor, a research advocate, and a care team member with the foundation, she is also quite active with the Cholangio Awareness Month and doing fundraising for the foundation, and also having a memorial nursing scholarship on her mother's behalf.
She's always offering to help, volunteering to help in whatever program we have, whether it is doing a cooking show on Zoom for the annual conference when we went virtual during COVID. She mentored a patient who in turn has become a mentor. So by all that she gives, she's taught others to give back as well.
She's an incredible ambassador for the foundation. And just being in her presence, she's one of those individuals that you walk away and say, gee, I would like to be a little bit more like her.
Allie, would you like to come up, please? Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you very much. That video made me get a little bit of a big head, but it was very kind, and thank you everyone who I volunteered with. I came to this conference in 2017 with my family, my mom, my dad, and my sister, and we got to meet fellow patients and caregivers, and we got to learn their story, and I think I speak for my family when I say we left with a whole lot more hope. We lost my mom that April. It'll actually be 6 years this Sunday, and I've been a volunteer ever since, and it's such a privilege to volunteer with this group of people. I believe that I'm in the room with the people who are going to find a cure, if not for my mom, but for all the other moms, dads, brothers, sisters, families, you name it. Let's find them a cure. Thank you.
And Allie brought as her guest her brand new fiance, right over there. So, okay, can we show the second video, please?
I am pleased to honor Dave and Linda Fleischer with the 2023 Mark R. Clements Community Impact Award. Dave and Linda are the parents of Sarah Bennett, a dedicated volunteer who started the Cholangio Warriors Facebook page. Dave and Linda were extraordinary caregivers for Sarah throughout her 4 years with cholangiocarcinoma. Sarah passed away in 2018. Dave and Linda have led multiple outreach and advocacy initiatives that continue to honor Sarah's life, including mentoring through Cholangio Connect, marketing and communications initiatives, and so much more. While serving on CCF's 15th anniversary steering committee, they envisioned, designed, and drove across country on a journey of hope. They met with other volunteers, patients, and caregivers wherever they went. For their unrelenting commitment to loving, lifting, and blessing all with whom they interact, it is a privilege to present them with this award.
I first met Dave and Linda in early 2021. Dave was on our anniversary committee and said that he would like to drive 15,000 miles across the US and start his Journey of Hope fundraiser.
I was one of the lucky selected friends who Sarah's father was able, Dave, to stop by to see me and my parents and my family and, just raise awareness and hope and take that long journey just to spread awareness of cholangiocarcinoma, such a rare disease.
Dave and Linda were supposed to meet with my mom on the Journey of Hope, but unfortunately she passed away shortly before their scheduled visit. So they still came and met with my family, which meant so much to all of us. We were in such a state of raw grief, and this car full of love, hope, and sunshine pulls into our driveway. And I'll never forget the feeling of peace and happiness when I hugged Dave and Linda.
People from all over the country contacted us and said, will you meet with me? Will you come to my house for dinner? Will you come to our school? And Dave was always accommodating.
Sarah left behind a tremendous piece of so many of our hearts. She is still doing her great work with the help of her parents. So Dave and Linda are amazing, and we're just so proud. I'm so proud to know them.
They've taken an incredibly tragic event that happened to their family and channeled that energy into giving back and making the journey easier for others on the path today and people who will be on the path that don't even know it.
Dave and Linda, would you come up?
You know, Sarah was a tremendous advocate for her fellow patients and for the foundation, and we're just simply walking in her shoes, continuing her legacy. And if she were here today, she would tell all of her fellow patients, fight like hell and don't give up.
The only thing I would add to that right now is some might know the little story, but I would just say, give a little whistle.
Okay, can we play the next video?
The 2023 Mark R. Clements Award for Vision, Innovation, and Collaboration goes to Dr. Juan Valle. Dr. Valle has dedicated his career to improving the lives of cancer patients and advancing our understanding of this complex disease. A professor and an honorary consultant in medical oncology at the Christie NHS Foundation Trust and the University of Manchester, his research focuses on developing new therapies for pancreatic, biliary, and neuroendocrine cancers. Dr. Valle has designed, developed, and led many seminal trials that have changed clinical practice. He is the author of numerous scientific publications and has been awarded multiple research grants to support his work. He is widely recognized internationally for his leadership and collaborative spirit. He serves on multiple advisory boards and professional organizations. Dr. Valle is a true inspiration and a true gentleman, and we are so grateful for all of his contributions.
His name is at the core of all the critical pieces of clinical biliary tract cancer research that have defined practice for the last 20 years. Without his input, without his vision into this, the outcomes may not have been the same.
He has a unique position in our field as being somebody that all of us lean towards or turn to when very difficult challenges come up or when questions arise that we'd like to place into context. He has an uncanny ability to do that, but always with grace and humility and academic respect.
I believe that he has really helped cholangiocarcinoma field, not only by delivering on clinical trials and changing standard practice with chemotherapy and also with targeted treatments, but that he has also really helped patients directly in clinic and patients indirectly by collaborations with, for example, Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation and also the AMMF, which is the UK cholangiocarcinoma charity.
I think there are very few people in his state who have accomplished what he accomplishes and still maintains that type of humanity and humility and mentorship and the role he plays for so many. I think it's very unique.
He's really a gentleman. He's a person very generous, very enthusiastic, dynamic. He has a brilliant mind and he's really highly collaborative. So he is a key person in the field of cholangiocarcinoma since the beginning of the research and has a really impact on the outcome of the patients.
Dr. Valle?
What a moment. My interest in cholangiocarcinoma really goes back 25 years. And at that point, as a junior clinician, there were no available treatments, and the diagnosis was very rarely made. There was no interest from industry. And look at it now. We have come a long way, but one of the things that we learned very early on is that we need collaboration. Initially, that was in the UK. My friend and colleague, John Bridgewater, you saw that there. We helped design some of the clinical trials, managed to get clinicians on board from across the UK. But none of it would have been possible without the commitment by patients and their families to take part in clinical research, to be vulnerable enough to help to improve the outcomes for not just themselves, but also patients coming after them. Working with the patient foundations like Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation, AMMF in the UK, has always kept us very grounded, very humble, because we see day to day what patients and their families are going through and the impact it has on their lives. I've talked about collaboration. This is not about me. It's about the various teams that I really have the pleasure and honor to have been working with in the UK. I have to thank my team back home who are keeping the show on the road in the middle of a junior doctor strike in the UK, as well as the various teams internationally in Europe, here in the US, with whom it's been an absolute honor to be involved. So Stacie, Kelly, and Amy, it's very humbling to receive this in Mark's memory. Thank you.
So thank you. It's such an honor for us to be able to acknowledge those who have given so much. There are many in this room who participated in our first conference 10 years ago, and I know you feel the same way when you look around and you just breathe in where we are. CCF has grown up a lot in the last 16 years, and when you are an infant, you need to be surrounded by adults who can help and assist you at every step. Then you become a child and you've got some things to say, but you're still very dependent on others. You get a little older, you become a teenager, and you know just enough to be dangerous, but you still need guidance and wisdom from those with more expertise. And then you become an adult, and you have the opportunity to pull up a chair and sit down at the table with those who have mentored and guided you. But now you can add your skills and expertise in a really meaningful way. Today, CCF becomes an adult. As we announce that in August, we will have our very first chief medical officer. He is one of the most globally respected experts in this field and will be helping CCF chart a path forward that we hope will change the trajectory of this disease for patients. I'm so pleased to announce that CCF's new chief medical officer is Dr. Juan Ballet.
Just one very, very brief thing to say. There is a season to everything. And I look back on the season that I have served in clinical practice and in my academic career with great fondness, but I'm looking forward to the next season with Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation. Thank you.
Things are getting so exciting. Okay, I just wanted to say one more small thing and then we'll turn it over to the chairs and get to work. Just wanted to thank my family. This is my little family when Mark was diagnosed. We have 5 children, 1 girl and 4 boys. Slide on the next, you can see my 3 youngest, and most of the investigators and scientists here will recognize Tate, Elise, and Brock. They were here at all the conferences, helping, volunteering, doing all kinds of things. And then on the bottom, this is us, all the kids grown up. I'm the shortest. So I want to thank, I could never have done something like this without the support of my husband. And so I want to thank my husband and my children from the bottom of my heart for being so supportive. Brian has been my biggest cheerleader and my biggest support when I have felt so inadequate to do what needed to be done. So grateful that to have Juan and so many of our staff all coming together at the right time to really make an impact here. This is such an exciting time, and I hope that you can feel that. I hope that you can feel the hope that's in the air as we all work together. We want a brighter future for cholangiocarcinoma patients, and we're all committed. Everyone in this room is committed to that. So with that, we're going to get to work, and I'm going to turn the time over to Dr. Braconi and Dr. Goff. Thank you.